What's best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of noobs. That was my motivational quote for the lesson. I hope that you're now 100% motivated to listen to this video because we have to start the preparations for the Owlypia competition. Most of the people who are watching this video, the people in the Viber group, will know that we traditionally host two big events when it comes to English competitions, and those are the World Scholars Cup, which has an easier name, and one with the weird name, which is called Owlypia. Today we're talking about the second one, Owlypia. And hopefully I'll be able to give you a very short overview and give you some tips on what to expect and how to do better at the upcoming competition. I'm perfectly aware that there are new people in our school who don't have experience with competitions like this one, so hopefully this will be a good introduction to that. I will start by sharing my screen and I'll explain where to find most of the information that you need. Oops, not here, not this. So when you type in Owlypia, as I said, it takes you to their official website. And for the people who haven't attended a competition like this one, let me explain that this is a competition where you're going to see how good you are against teams from the whole country, because this is not just for schools from Yahya Kemal. There will be other teams from other state schools as well from the country, maybe even the region. I know that last year there were some teams from Albania and Serbia, I think. I'm not exactly sure. I don't have the exact schedule on how everything will go down, but we should have it next week and things will be much clearer. Although what we already do know is that it will take place on the 13th and 14th of November, that's Saturday and Sunday. Usually the competition starts at about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning and it lasts until 4 or 5 in the afternoon. So you have to really dedicate the whole weekend to the competition. One of the good things about the competition is that it gives you a very detailed set of resources, something that you can work with. And the good thing is that you can cover all the information given there in just one weekend and not feel too stressed about it. When it comes to the Scholars Cup, it is a bit more difficult and the resources are extensive. So the preparations usually last longer. Last year we needed a whole year to finish most of the resources. But the hard work finally paid off because we had amazing results and we qualified for the global rounds. The preparations are in progress. We will go crush some international teams. So as I said, each team has 3 members, and ideally those 3 members would be good at different things. By different things, I mean different subjects. So if you want to have the perfect team, you would need one guy or one girl who is good at science, one who's good at social sciences, one who's good at art, in order to try to have a better perspective of what's being debated on or written about. Although it's not that much of a big deal if you have 3 people to choose the same subject. Please don't register just yet. Wait for me to tell you when to do it. We will do it either next week or 2 weeks from now. There's still plenty of time because we will have to use a special code for discount. The price for the local round is £50 if you don't use the discount. With the discount is going to cost £30, which is a good thing because £30, I'm not saying that it's too cheap, but it's not too expensive either. When you go to rounds, you need to press Owlypia locals. We've had a lot of examples where people choose online. Don't do that. That's a different thing. If you press Owlypia online, it takes you to a competition which is only a quiz, a multiple choice quiz about the resources. We don't really care about that now. That's a last resort if someone doesn't manage to qualify for a global round during the locals. So once you press locals over here, it will take you to a different page. My internet is horrible. I don't know what to do. Maybe I should change the provider. Right, it takes you over here. And when you go to register for Owlypia locals, it will give you the form. As I said, we don't care about that now, so I'll just skip it and go back. There are 5 different subjects you can choose from, and these resources are incredibly important for all the team challenges you'll be doing, not just the team challenges, the individual challenges as well. I have prepared short explanations for each particular team challenge, so this should not be a problem. However, I'd like to go through these subjects very quickly. The first one is art and design, economics and business, literature and culture, science and technology, and social sciences. Half of these resources overlap. So it means that most of you will, not most of you, all of you will at least have studied half of the resources. And the other half is going to be what you will provide as extra for the team. I think that everyone who's in the group is, how old are you guys? I'm not really sure. There are 3 different divisions, age categories. You have the owlins from 9 to 11. You have the owlets from 12 to 14, and the owlies who are aged 15 to 18. I don't know if any of the 9th graders are already 15 years old. If you are, you will have to debate and compete against high school students, which is always a good thing. I think that we're absolutely ready and that we can definitely defeat them. But I think that most of the people in the group will be in this age category, owlets, ages 12 to 14. That's 7th, 8th, and some of the 9th graders. It's a really good category. So you scroll to resources, and I'll use art and design as an example. So you scroll over art and design, and you go to resources for owlets. This is where you'll find everything that you need. It will take you to a different page, and over here, first you can see that you're given the theme of the year. This is something that maybe I should have said at the beginning of the video. Every year there is a different theme. Last year it was teamwork, achieving together. This year it's innovation, what's next? Now, when I first saw this theme, I was like, well, this is very similar to what we did last year. Is this going to be attractive to my students? Are they going to like it? But I think that I underestimated it because it is a really good topic. I've covered all the resources from all the subjects, and I think that there's a lot to learn. And even if people don't want to compete or attend the competition, it's still good and useful to just cover the resources and know these things that most of your peers won't come across. So innovation, what's next? What does innovation mean? If you're having troubles understanding what it means, this is the way you should think about it. Thinking outside the box. So not going by the book, not following rules as they were given, but trying to be creative, trying to do things outside the box. Just think about that when you're doing the resources, and everything will be much easier. Once it takes you to this page, you need to find the blue box. It says locals, all local rounds, and you press resources here. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, which still hasn't finished and has ruined 2 years of our lives, this local round will take place virtually, which means that you'll be at home alone or with your team if you have a sleepover, and you'll be able to attend the competition that way. It's been adapted for online as an online competition, and it works because last year we attended the competition that way, and everything worked like a clockwork. There weren't any problems when it comes to how it was organized. So I'm optimistic about how it will go. It will be done this year. Let me cover the resources very quickly. There is one book that you have to read. It's called Wonder by R.J. Palacio. I think it's pronounced Palacio. I haven't really watched any videos to check the pronunciation, but I know that some of you might have already watched it. I'm definitely sure that some of you mentioned that they have watched it. And there is also a movie. It stars Owen Wilson and who was it? There was a very famous female actress. Um, what was her name? I keep forgetting. Never mind. If you want to, you can find it online. If you're a pirate, download it. That's what I do. I do have the PDF file, so once you start watching this video, it will already have been sent in the Viber group. Hopefully you'll read it. It's 200 pages long, but you'll read it in like 2 days. I know it's exam week, but it's something that we have to do. There are 3 films that you have to watch. Moneyball with Brad Pitt. It's a movie that I have already watched. It's quite interesting. Maybe people your age won't find it as attractive as I did. Um, it's a movie where a baseball coach is trying to put together a team, but he's struggling financially, so he can't afford any of the best players. So what he actually does is he buys all the mediocre players, but he focuses on their complementary skills, and that's how he manages to get good results. Gifted, I haven't watched this one. Hopefully you will like it. I heard someone say that it was a really good film. And we have the Imitation Game with Benedict Cumberbatch, who's an incredible actor. You might know him as Doctor Strange. All 3 films, I think this one is a movie, I'm not sure. Okay, we'll refer to them as films. All these 3 films apparently are really, really good, and you'll enjoy watching them. One thing that you have to be careful about is that, not be careful about, but this is something you should have in mind, is that during the competition, you will be allowed to have your notebook open. So while you're watching the films, please take notes. And as I have already said, the thing that you have to have at the back of your head all the time while you're doing the resources is, how did this person do something creatively? What was the thing that this person did outside the box? For the films, I think that it would be very beneficial if you organize your team to watch the films together. Invite someone over your house, get some popcorn, get some crisps and juice, and watch the films. It's one of the best things that you can do, because you will activate your brain, and once you start discussing the films with your teammate, you will have more information and more material to work with. The videos, there are 4 videos which are incredibly interesting. Video 1, 2, 3, and 4. As you can see, some of them are TED presentations, TED Talks, which is something that I watch before going to bed. They will give you enough information to feel much better, to feel superior to people your age, to normal mortals. So I really urge you to watch them. For example, this one, I won't give you too much because it might be a spoiler, but in the 4th video over here, they're discussing the best innovations of our time, which are part of our ancient history. And it turns out that there was a civilization which had built a flamethrower, like a rocket launcher. They found out how to use fire and some stones, and how they could burn down whole ships. Once you finish the videos, then you can move on to the articles. There are 4 articles, also incredibly interesting. Even if you're not attending the competition, you could talk about this with your parents and see what they think, because I suppose most of your parents are employed and they will have more experience than you in terms of this. For example, this one, top down or bottom up, how do you start building an innovative culture? I'll give you an example of what that means and how it could be used in practicing in your life. Let's say that you're bored with the way lessons are held in our school. You don't like this or that. Um, who should make the change? If it's top down, then the general director, the boss of the school, he's the one who says, aha, we are not happy with how lessons are held. So from now on, we will not have traditional lessons, but everything will be done as a play, as a theater play. So the history teacher will have to act out the wars. The English teachers will have to have speeches. The math teachers will have to dance with numbers. I don't know. Are they the person who should decide, or bottom up students, because let's face it, you're at the bottom of the pyramid, mere mortals. Is it you who should say, we're not happy with how, did you notice how I changed my voice to reflect you better? We're not happy with how lessons are organized in our school. What we need as students is for the lessons to be organized in a more playful way, perhaps through theater plays. So it's a very important question that we need to be aware of. Who makes those changes? So let's say if your parents work in a pharmacy, who should come up with ideas on how to be creative? Is it actually the employees or is it the owner? Think about this, incredibly important. The people, there are also three people you need to do research on. You're not given materials here. You're just given the name. And what you should do is you should do some digging on the internet. That doesn't mean that you should only resort to the first website you find. Usually that's Wikipedia. Don't do that. Try to watch some videos about them and try to understand why they were so important and how why they were considered creative in the time when they lived. I don't know if some of them are still alive. Personally, I don't know who the second one is. I know person number one and person number three. That's about it for the resources. I don't know if there's anything else I need to say. I have prepared a short presentation for the team events, but in case you want to learn more details and watch some videos which are more attractive, I don't use colors in my presentations. I find it a bit too colorful. Well, if you use colors, it will be colorful. I don't know if that's the word that I needed, because it's Friday, 9 o'clock. I'm tired. It's been a very rough week. It's been a very rough year, to be honest. So as I was saying, once you open the home tab and you scroll down, it will take you here, the team challenges. In order for me to be a bit, to be clear, I will open my presentation over here. And I think that you'll understand everything. So Owlypia, the competition with the weird name. I told you that the theme this year is innovation, what's next, or thinking outside the box. And there are 4 different challenges. Now, for the people who have attended the competition before, they will remember that there were 5. Unfortunately, and I'm very serious about this, I think that they made a bad move, but we'll see what we can do about the future editions of the competition. They have removed the pen down challenge, which is a fancy name for the writing challenge. So we have to work with what we're given. There are 4 challenges. The first one is the knowledge challenge. You will have 45 minutes to answer, I think it's 50 questions, I'm not sure. I think there will be 50 questions based on the subject you chose when you registered. Because when you do register for the competition, you have to state what your favorite subject is. And all of them are connected to that, and all of them are connected to the theme of the year. They're not going to ask you about the football-related stuff. They're not going to ask you about Billie Eilish. 100% of the questions will come from your favorite subject. You're not allowed to cheat, obviously. So you're not allowed to have someone sitting next to you with another device and telling you the questions. Team scores are calculated by adding the scores of all team members. So once everyone has done their best, Nicola 1, Nicola 2, and Nicola 3, they all go to Team Nicola, all the points. What's interesting is that each question has a different number of points, not point as it's written here, points. So some of them might award you with 2, some of them with 3, some of them with 5 points. I think that this one is interesting, but in order for you to do this properly, you will really have to cover all the resources and take notes. If you don't take the notes, you won't be able to engage your brain. You need to stimulate your brain to make it work consciously. Because I think that we've all faced that problem when we are just reading a book and we're like, okay, I remember I remember what I've read so far. You turn to the next page, you have no idea what you've just read. So this is what's going to happen with the articles and the videos as well. If you're not taking notes, it's as good as nothing, seriously. Next one. The impromptu challenge. There are a lot of people who are afraid of this. You shouldn't be afraid because everyone in our school speaks English really, really well. Most of the subjects are in English, so you already have experience. Don't be scared. Every speaker, every contestant will be given a random topic, and they will have 60 seconds to prepare a speech. Most of the time, the questions that you will get, the topics, are related to the theme. So they will not ask you about something completely irrelevant. They might ask you something like, let's say, is it easier to be innovative when you're working alone or when you're working in a team? They might ask you who should come up with innovative ideas. Is it the boss or is it the workers? They might ask you something like, is it better to work by the books or to be innovative and take risks? All of these questions are possible topics. While during the 60 seconds, team members can discuss the topic together. There are 2 options over here. You could attend the whole competition from one place. So you could get together in someone's house and you can put 3 devices on one table, so you can have a lot of fun and you can help each other with some ideas. Or you can stay at home and you can make a Discord group or Viber group where you can help each other. It might be a bit time consuming, but I think that you people have a lot of experience with groups like that. The first thing that you need to do is to organize your ideas. So to take very quick notes once you're given the motion, because after 60 seconds, the judge will tell you that you have to start. And every speaker has up to 2 minutes to give their speech. You are not allowed to speak for less than 60 seconds. That's 1 minute. So do not speak for less than 1 minute. The good thing is that I will give you a template that you can use, and you will never be under a minute. If you follow my tips, you will always be somewhere around 1 minute and 30 seconds, which is actually the sweet spot is 1 minute and 50 seconds, but it takes a lot of practice to get the timing right. It implies that you have to organize your ideas very, very well, and you have to be very careful about your delivery, about how you're giving your speech. You will not get carried away, because when there's 30 seconds left, the judge will lift a sign which says 30 seconds left, and you'll be able to just give a summary or a conclusion to what you've said. These 3 questions over here are some of the scoring criteria that you have to be careful about. Was the presentation structured and organized clearly? This means that you're not allowed to just go freestyle. You're not going to riff. You have to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, it's no good. So you have to, I'll explain what you have to do in the next slide. The second criteria is, did the student have an innovative and creative approach to the topic? No one cares about boring ideas. You should try to impress the judge and the audience. So try to do your best. And the last one is, was the student confident with good volume and eye contact? This mostly refers to your performance face to face, because it's very difficult to check eye contact. I mean, I haven't looked at the camera once. I'm keep staring at my hair in the video at the corner of my screen. So it will be a bit difficult to follow that during the competition. However, these two things, the good volume and being confident, are really important. You may be saying the greatest philosophies of the world, unearthing, I don't know, mysteries, but no one is going to feel impressed if you're speaking like this, or if you're not confident. I can tell you everything about the competition, but if I'm too quiet and if I'm not confident, yeah, you see, so it bothers you. You need to be confident. You need to believe in what you're saying, and you need to have a good volume. I'm not asking you to yell. Uh, just keep it normal. This is the template that you can use. So when you see the topic, the first thing that you do is you take notes following this template. Uh, you need to give a first of all, you greet everyone. You say, good morning, dear judge, my name is Nicola. And then you say what the topic is, and you give a short introduction, and you end with, for two main reasons. Why do you do this? It's called topic development. If you say for two main reasons in your speech, it's like giving a present to the judge. It's like, okay, here, I want to make it easier for you. I want you to be able to follow my ideas carefully. So here, I will say two reasons. And the judge will feel happy because they will be able to anticipate what you're saying. And obviously, as you can see over here, I've written first of all and second of all, those are the two main reasons. But it's not enough just to state your reasons. You have to support them with examples. So the way you do that is by saying, for example, and for instance, and then you write a short conclusion. Everything makes perfect sense in my head, so I don't know if I'm rushing. So that's why I'll demonstrate with one example. Last time when I was explaining, I think that I did the one with the pets. What should I say? What should I say? I'll talk about. I really should have thought about the topic before starting the video, because now this is taking a bit too long. I could talk about something completely difficult, so something completely different, something very difficult. So to show you that by following this template, you can answer any question in the world, anything you want to talk about. So this is what I'll use. I'll say that why hot dogs, no, why burgers are better than pizza. It's a completely random topic, obviously. So look what I'm going to do. First, I need to think of two examples. So why would a burger be better than pizza? I could say that pizza requires a lot of work because you need to cut it. And when you're eating a burger, you can just hold it and eat it on the go. And the second one would be because why would a burger be better than pizza? Because there's better ingredients. Because in some pizza restaurants, when you go there, it's just just a piece of dough. There's not enough ketchup. There's not enough ingredients, mushrooms, salami, whatever. So this is I already have a plan what I'm going to say, but I can't just start answering the question. What I need to do is to give a short introduction. So I'll start talking about how the world is into junk food nowadays, and then I'll move into my arguments. I don't have a piece of paper, but I'm a Jedi, so I'll remember this. Okay, so I'll start the timer. I haven't tried this before, because I want you to see what the real experience looks like. There will not ask you such difficult questions. They will ask you normal questions for normal people. They will ask you something like, as I said, what is it better to work better in a team or individually? Not about burgers and pizzas. I'm just showing off here. So I will start the timer. I have 2 minutes. Pay attention to what I'm going to do. Good morning, dear judge. My name is Nicola, and I'd like to talk about why burgers are better than pizzas. Nowadays, because everyone is living a very busy life, junk food is very popular. So that leaves people wondering whether burgers or pizzas are the best type of junk food. I believe that burgers are the best for two main reasons. First of all, it's very convenient to eat on the go. No one has time to sit down and wait for the pizza to be ready for 1 hour and then to eat it for another half an hour. We've all been witnesses with overcrowded pizza restaurants where we have to wait too long and nobody has time for that. When you go to a fast food store for burgers, you just order something, they're already pre-made, you give the money to the shop assistant and you take it and you go. Second of all, burgers are much juicier than pizzas. They use a lot more quality ingredients than pizzas. For instance, you go to a pizza restaurant, you order a pizza, you think that you'll have something really tasty, and when they bring it, it's just a piece of dough with no ketchup or mushrooms. When you do go and order a burger, there's a very nice patty which is full of meat, and there are different quality ingredients there. So that's why there are a lot of other reasons, but that's mainly why I believe that burgers are better than pizzas. So that was completely random, but it took me 1 minute 45 seconds to finish it. It's not perfect, but I think that the judge would like it because I had an idea of what I was doing. So I did the topic development. I told what I was going to talk about. I had two arguments and I had two examples. And that's mostly what works here. Moving on to the next slide. This is the speechcraft challenge. This is a fancy word for saying a debate. Speechcraft makes it sound like it's something straight out of Hogwarts, like it's some kind of a Harry Potter-esque subject. It's not. It's just a debate, and the format is slightly different from what we're used to at school. At school, we usually have 15 minutes to prepare, and every speaker has up to 4 minutes to speak. Here, things are a bit different. So this is what's going to happen. You will get matched with another team in a virtual room, in a breakout room. There will be a judge there. And the judge will give you a motion. They will say, this is the motion, this is what you need to talk about. And they will give you 10 minutes to prepare. What does that mean? It means that you have full access to the internet and to the notes in your notebook. No one is testing your ability to think of arguments on the spot. No, what we're testing here, what they're testing, not me, what they're testing here is your ability to connect all the bits and pieces and to come up with a wonderful puzzle. So you have the knowledge from the resources beforehand. So what you need to do is to remember, okay, in that article, I learned about bottom-down processes, about how it's done in professional companies. So that's what I'm going to use as an argument here. That's what they're testing. There's a mistake in my slide over here. I just saw it. Every speaker will have up to 3 minutes. So not 2, not 4, 3 minutes of speech time. 3 minutes of speech time is okay. Personally, I think that 4 is just enough for a professional debater, for a good debater to deliver their speech. 3 minutes might be a bit challenging because you'll have to rush through some things, but it is doable. Once the speaker starts speaking, they will turn on the timer. You get 3 minutes. You are not allowed to speak for less than 1 minute. Please remember that. If you do speak for less than 60 seconds or 1 minute, or for speaking more than 3 minutes, you will be penalized, which you will lose points there. When there is 30 seconds left, the head judge will just show you a sign. You'll be aware when you need to finish, and you need to use your time and words wisely. As I said, you need to have a plan. At the bottom over here, you have the scoring criteria. You have the content, which is about 40%, the resources, the evidence, the creativity, and originality. You have all of this in the resources you need to cover. Organization is the second criteria. This is completely up to you about what's going on in your head, about how you approach it. It's not about how you perform it, but how you build it. So once you take the notes in your notebook, you will be able to organize them in a very cohesive, in a meaningful way, which goes in the same line with what your teammate will be doing, and that amounts to 30% of the entire score. The last one is about the delivery, about your language, about how you move. I'm sure that you've noticed that I try to move my hands when I'm trying to emphasize something, and I don't speak like a robot with just one tone. Variety, local variety. That seems weird. Local variety. I have no idea what local variety means. I don't know why I put it over here. I've probably copied it off somewhere. So this is what a good debate should look like. I already mentioned the burger. This is a burger, not a good one. It's not the perfect drawing, but it will do for the time being. A good speech looks like a good burger. You cannot just start explaining your ideas immediately. What you need to do is to provide the introduction, and you need to have a conclusion. Because if you compare it to my burger analogy, you cannot eat the patty and the vegetables and the lettuce without the bread, because it will fall apart. You need something to organize all that beauty inside. You need to hold it together. And if you don't have a beginning, an introduction, and if you don't have an ending, a conclusion, everything is going to just fall apart. However, the most important part is the main body. That's why the burger is the burger. It's the essence of the burger. And as you can see, there are three different layers. This also refers to the whole team. Every single speaker in your team should focus on a different idea. So if you're talking about why Tony Stark is the best Avenger, you can't. It's not a good idea for three people to focus on one thing. It's not a good idea for three people to say, well, he's a very good leader. He knows how to motivate people. And then the second speaker comes in, he says, well, I think Tony Stark is the best Avenger because he's a good leader and he knows how to motivate people. And then the third one comes and repeats the same thing. I think that Tony Stark is the best Avenger because he is a good leader and he can motivate people. I said this in about 15 seconds, and I'm sure that you are already annoyed. Imagine a judge listening to you for 10 minutes. So try to approach it from different angles. It's very important to find different perspectives of looking at the motion. If you are given, you won't be, but if you are given this question about Tony Stark, what you need to do is the first person should say, because Tony Stark is the best Avenger, because he's a very good leader, he can motivate people. The second one, though, should say this. Tony Stark is the best Avenger because he's very creative and he knows how to overcome problems. Unlike the Hulk, who just smashes things, Tony Stark or Iron Man can think his way out of problems. And the third one should come and say something like, Tony Stark is the best Avenger because he's very good at dealing with people. He knows how to get to people on a subconscious level to earn their trust. I don't know, something like that. So over here, you have a short overview of what the debate will look like. One team will be affirmative, the positive team. One team will be, the other one will be negative. You get 10 minutes to prepare. You have full access to the internet, and you can have your notebooks in front of you. You can have your notebooks in front of you even while you're debating. You're not supposed to read the whole thing, but you could use the notes. Disregard why did I write 2 minutes. It will confuse people, but I really don't have the energy to record another video. So everywhere you see 2, substitute it with 3. Just not here next to my cursor. This is a 2. All of these though are 3s. So what? Yes. Okay. I'm going to give you a short template of what each speaker needs to do. This will be a very quick introduction because we take debating very seriously. We even have a debating activity subject in 9th grade where we deal with all the subtleties. This will be the basics that you need for the competition, but if you want to learn more, at the end of this video, I will give you some links on how you can become better debaters. So there are 3 speakers. They all have a different role. The first speaker is the person who sets up the whole motion, gives the definition, starts with a quote most of the time, and does the team split. The team split is an explanation of what the other team members will talk about. The second speaker has 2 arguments, and he doesn't have any organizational responsibilities, whereas the third and final speaker needs to do the summary. So in general, team split, 2 arguments, conclusion. So this is what the template, the speech for the first speaker should look like. Good morning, dear judge, dear teammates and opponents. Everyone should greet everyone. One common mistake is that a lot of people take this for granted and they don't pay attention whether it's morning or afternoon. So even if it's in the afternoon, they will say good morning, which is a bad thing because the judge will know that you've learned it by heart and that you don't really mean it. So take your time and do greet the judge. Don't just say good morning, dear judge, dear teammates and opponents. Say good morning, dear judge, dear teammates and opponents. I'm the first speaker of the affirmative team, and today's motion is that burgers are better than pizza. We strongly believe that this is true. This is what you should say. And then he goes and says, I will talk about how convenient it is to hold a burger. Our second speaker will talk about the quality of the ingredients that go into the burger. Our third speaker will talk about how we'll talk about the price, that it's cheaper than a pizza. And he needs to continue with his first main ideas. First of all, second of all, for example. No, first of all, for example, second of all, for example. And that's why I believe. This is the template for the first speaker. I know I'm rushing, but I'll send you links. The second speaker, as I said, does not have a team split. He starts with a greeting and an introduction. And this guy has the best arguments. You should reserve the most efficient, the best arguments for the second speaker because he will have the most time to elaborate on that topic. Once he has done that, first of all, for example, second of all, for example, there could be even a third argument here. And he ends with, that's why I believe. The third speaker, on the other hand, starts the same way as previously. Greetings, introduction, the ideas, but before ending their speech, they need to do the summary. They need to say something like, our first speaker talked about how convenient it is to hold a burger. Our second speaker talked about how about the fact that the ingredients that go into preparing a burger are better than preparing a pizza. And I talked about the prices. That's why I believe, or that's why our team believes that burgers are better than pizza. Right. There is so much that goes into debating. There are a lot of tricks and tips I can give you. I have already recorded some videos for that. I've actually recorded the lessons we had for the Scholars Cup, where we were where we approached debating very, very seriously. These slides will give you the basics. If you learn this, you will be good to go. However, if you want to delve deeper, you will need to watch those videos. And I'm talking about, wait, can I show them to you now? How do I switch? This is how. Right. So if you want to learn more about debating, this is what you do. You go on YouTube, you write my name and my surname, Nikola Gielinczewski. It's a very difficult surname, but what can you do? And you can start from the bottom. These are all some of the resources for the Scholars Cup. So you skip this. What you do watch, though, is this. It's absolutely essential to watch this one, a well-written debate speech. I explain all the subtleties that go into writing a good debate speech, everything that you need to know. Then the rule of three, also very important. Rebuttals and prebuttals, incredibly important. And if you really want uh, to be much better than the others, watch the emotional appeal and watch artsy fartsy. Artsy fartsy is the most artistic tip I can give you, and it is. I don't know why it has only 23 views. Maybe people don't like the title of the video, but I promise you, if you learn how to do this, it will be beneficial for you in terms of other subjects as well, not just English and not just debating. So please don't forget the which names I mentioned, which titles I mentioned. A well-written debate speech, the rule of three, emotional appeal, rebuttals and prebuttals, artsy fartsy. In total, there's about 2 hours of footage, so it's completely doable. You can watch it before going to bed. Let me continue with my presentation. This is the last team event that you have to know. It's the Team Spirit Challenge. It's very interesting. It's very dynamic as well. You will be given an online buzzer. Everyone will have it, but you need to have a separate device for that. So if you are attending the competition on your laptop, you will need to turn on your mobile phone as well. So you will have the buzzer or like a remote control on your mobile phone, and you'll see the questions on your screen. So you see the questions over here on your laptop, and you answer the questions on the mobile phone. They get progressively more difficult, and I think that they will net you different amount of points. And I think it's very dynamic because there is a timer which what does the timer do? It runs out of time, I suppose. And that's about it. So I will stop sharing now. What you have to remember is that you really need to enjoy the experience. This is not one of those competitions where you need to rack your brains out. No, what you need to do is to enjoy it. So if you have a balcony, put on a hoodie, get a cup of tea, go outside, play the videos, get a notebook, write notes down. If you don't enjoy the preparations for this competition, it's going to be really time consuming. So do yourself a favor, enjoy the experience. I'm perfectly convinced that you are absolutely ready. I think that you all know what you're doing, and next lesson we'll start with lessons. Wait, no, what is it? Next week we'll start with lessons, and things will get much easier. In the meantime, talk to your teammates, ask them which resources they'll be covering, which subject, and start working together. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the Viber group. Thank you very much. Start studying. Bye-bye.